the main floor. All night, let's take a shot. Keep moving and we won't get caught. Take a long way home. Tonight we're free to roam. Everything's gonna be alright. Just let go, enjoy the ride. To the top of the world tonight. We're never coming down. Never coming down. No, we're never coming down. Never coming down. High on life, got a good buzz going. I've got no way of knowing what tomorrow's gonna bring me. Not gonna worry. Everything's gonna be alright. Just let go, enjoy the ride. To the top of the world tonight. We're never coming down. Never coming down. No, we're never coming down. Never coming High on life, got a good buzz going. I'm never, ever, never coming down. Never coming down. No, we're never coming down. Never coming
Well, welcome to the show. I am your gracious host, Daniel. I want to go over this briefly, or what the rules are and what I expect from the people of the chat, because I know we have new people on here. I didn't want to do a separate video about it. So basically, the rules are number one, have respect for the host. Okay, that's the most important one. Two, act like adults. Three, don't bring drama into this chat. Four, don't be attacking each other in chat. Have respect for each other in chat, and that's about it. Because the mods will get you. They will ask you one time to stop. If you continue, then the mods have my permission to put you in a timeout. Aw, kitty cats. Meow. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing with Judge Simmons started. And while this is playing, I'm going to run down to the office really quick and pay my rent. But there should be no ads with this. I know YouTube has been screwing around lately, trying to change something. Because it says there's only 955 videos on this channel, and that's not the truth. They're like almost 900. We're getting close to 980. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been a year, and I have almost 26,000 views and 2,000 watch time hours already in a year's time. I know we can do better with subscribers. So please, if you like this content and you're not a subscriber to this channel, please consider subscribing to this channel and help the channel grow. And just remember, everybody, we're not only broadcasting on YouTube, but we are on Rumble. And you can get the Rumble app. You can download the Rumble app for your Android phone and Google Play. Let's get started with Judge Simmons. Exactly, Linda. You have to make that judgment. I haven't seen Cook on here for a while, so yeah, I haven't seen Cook on here for a while, so I think he should be more worried about them losing everything. Let's go ahead and get started with this. Uh,
In the state of Michigan versus Gates, Tremonte Gates. The jury is here and ready to return. Other than what you've addressed at the bench, is there anything that you want to address or deal with before we call the jury?
Not from the people. I don't know if the court is interested in sequestering witnesses here.
I'm sorry?
I don't know if the court's interested in sequestering witnesses here. I don't know that we have a strong preference either way.
That's up to you all. If you wanted to question your witnesses. I'm assuming there's only, one lay witness or two?
Two.
The two lay witnesses, you're calling two lay witnesses?
I'm calling one lay witness and two officers.
Okay.
They listed two. I don't think they intend to call the second one. That second person is also on my list. That will be called.
Okay, yeah, that's up to you if you want to have a sequestration order.
I'll leave that to defense counsel. I'm indifferent.
I might as well, Your Honor.
The sequestration is granted. Where are these witnesses?
I think they're both sitting just on benches out here in different places.
Okay, we'll have them put in private rooms and make sure they're sequestered and then make sure that they're not on YouTube.
Your Honor, there is a third possible impeachment witness who is here and present. I don't know if the court wants her to go somewhere. She's also just sitting out there.
It's a possible what witness?
An impeachment witness, a third impeachment witness. She's not on the list of intended. She's just here on board in case of impeachment.
Who was subpoenaed?
What's that?
You subpoenaed?
Yes.
Okay, that they should also be subpoenaed.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would request that the victim, after testifying, be able to sit in the room
My
or
only,
watch from live.
my only concern there, Your Honor, is potentially recalling her.
Yeah, for what reason?
It was a request made by the victim.
Oh, okay, no, if it's a sequestration order, she's not allowed to do that. She may be recalled. So with that being stated, we'll have the jury brought back once Mr. Wansley returns. The last pre-show.
She did.
She's,
Work on the bench.
oh, while we wait for the jury, what happened with Miss Wahardo?
Some straw.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll pick that up.
She did tell me a couple minutes ago she didn't make contact with her.
she's here.
Oh, yeah.
Are you looking for Dolores Guajardo?
Yes.
Come on, Ms. Guajardo.
I'm not going on the record. I'm on the record of the trial. It's 2:30. That's 2:40. What's going on?
Oh, I don't know, Your Honor.
Where? I had my.
Were you here at 2:00?
I was here at like 2:10.
Cody let us know she was here. She just, they weren't here when she first got here, but I think when they came back, she was on. You gotta step out and figure out what's going on. I guess you can get one of the prosecutors to assist you, because the jury's coming back in right now.
Got it.
Is that what this was? Oh, this must have been a copy of the thing. Ms. Buckingham, are you gonna be playing video or something? Is that why you, let me make you go ahead.
Your Honor, on Ms. Guajardo's case, the people will be moving to dismiss both matters.
She's all set.
Yes. Yeah, that's a dog license.
Okay, jury was standing at the door ready anyway.
All right.
Okay, you can be seated. Okay, we are ready to proceed. I do want to go over again, just an issue that was brought to my attention. Not that anyone is in trouble, but I want to remind everybody of the jury instruction that you're not allowed to speak to any of the lawyers, witnesses, or anyone connected to this case. So if, for instance, you have a question, is there another restroom, is there a water fountain, whatever, you would need to ask the court staff. That's going to be the two people I introduced, or you can ask my intern there too, but you cannot ask any of the lawyers any questions because
That was my fault, I'm sorry.
no worries, no worries. I just want to remind, it happens often. I just want to remind everybody so that it doesn't even give the appearance of anything improper. So with that being said, you can call your witnesses.
The people will call Michaela Zamitis.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Put everybody in. Only he knows.
I don't know.
to have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
You can have a seat. There is a microphone that's in front of you. The lady behind you is a court recorder and she must take down everything being stated in the courtroom. That microphone's not going to amplify your voice at all, though. So you need to speak loud and clear so that everyone in the courtroom can hear, regardless if they're sitting back here or back here, okay?
Okay.
If there's a yes or no question, you have to give a yes or no answer versus a or a head nod, head shake, because we can't write that into the record accurately. If you forget, we'll just ask you if it's a yes or no, because that's also common. If either of the attorneys says objection, that means you have to stop speaking. It means that I have to make a ruling on the objection and then tell you if you're allowed to give us the answer under the court rules or not, okay? I want you to state your first and last name and spell both.
Michaela Zemitis, Reginald, and MICHAELAZEMAITIS -RETHAMEL.
Proceed, counsel.
Thank you. Hi, Michaela. Michaela, do you know a Germonte Gates?
I do
Who is Germonte to you?
the father of my son.
Okay, father of your son. And is that your only shared child?
Yes.
Okay. How old is that child? You? And I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask you to speak just a little bit louder.
Okay.
Just pretend you're yelling at me.
Okay.
All right. And do you and Mr. Gates have a dating history?
We do.
How long had you two been in a relationship?
It was kind of like off and on 5 years. It was just like a long break in between.
Okay, so 5 years and there was a gap somewhere in there. All right. Do you see Mr. Gates in the courtroom right now?
I do.
Can you point out where he is in the courtroom and an article of clothing? Just describe it for me.
He was over there in the black suit.
Okay. And Your Honor, could the record please reflect identification of the defendant?
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
So noted.
Michaela, I am going to draw your attention to July 1st of 2025. Do you remember that day?
I do.
On that day, where were you living?
With Jemima in his house.
Okay, do you know the address of that house?
6338 Hilliard Road.
Okay, is that in the county of Ingham, city of Lansing?
Yeah.
And was anyone else living with you at that residence at that time?
Yeah, it was me, my son that we share together, my other son that I don't have with him, and then his roommate in the basement.
Okay, and do you know the roommate's name?
Nicholas Colton.
Okay. And can you briefly describe for the jury the general layout of the home?
You walk in, there's a living room, and then the kitchen is the part, like in the back of the house. And then there's a hallway to the left. And you go down the hallway, and the first left is the basement door, and then you go further left, and it's the bathroom, and then you go further left, and it's Shamante's room. And at the end of the hallway, it's my room, and then across from the bathroom is the bedroom.
Okay, we're gonna focus in on that hallway that you were talking about. Can you just briefly reiterate kind of where the bedrooms, bathroom, how that hall looks?
So it's a narrow hallway, and then the bathroom is like right here, and then the spare bedroom is right here, Shamante's room is right here, and then my room is at the back of the hall.
Okay, so your room was kind of at the end of the hall, and then Dramonte's was before that.
Yes.
If you were facing down the hall, it was on the right.
Yes.
And then across from his room, did you say there was a bathroom?
No, it's the spare bedroom.
Spare bedroom is across from it. Okay. And who owned that house?
Shamonte.
Dramonte did? Okay. And on July 1st, 2025, were you and Dramonte in a relationship at that time?
We were not.
Okay. Do you remember how long before that you had broken up?
It was like in June, so like a couple of weeks before July 1st.
Okay. And leading up from the breakup to July 1st, what was the general dynamic between you and Dramonte?
More like roommates,
Okay.
parenting.
Okay. Were things pretty cordial between you?
Okay.
Okay. Despite the breakup, you were still allowed to live in the home?
Yeah.
Okay. And on July 1st, were you and Mr. Gates having any altercations, any verbal altercations?
I mean, we argue here and there, like disagreements.
Specifically on July 1st, did you have a verbal altercation?
Not until later that night.
Okay, what was that about?
I wanted him to come home so I could go to my dad's house in Perry and get an AC unit. Because his AC unit in the house is broken into too.
Okay, and when you had that argument about wanting him home, do you know where he was at that time?
He told me he was going to Meyer to get a part that Meyer might have for the AC unit. And then I don't know where he went after.
So I assume, were you on the phone
We
talking?
argued on the phone for a little bit. And then he told me to leave him alone.
Okay,
And then he stopped.
so at some point, did Mr. Gates come home that night?
Yeah, about an hour after the initial phone argument.
Okay, and what happened when he got home?
He didn't say anything to me. I was sitting outside in the patio. And he went down the hallway to the bathroom, used the bathroom, went in his room, and then didn't say anything. Then I went into the doorway past him while he was in his room.
Okay, and was anyone else in the room at the time?
In Jumanji's room, maybe he was sleeping on the bed.
And is Aiden your shared child?
Yes.
Okay. So you go to his room, and you said you were kind of just you said you were asking why he was treating you, how was he treating you? What was your?
Just very short, no patience, didn't want to talk, had nothing to really say to me.
Okay. And was that odd to you?
I mean, when we'd have disagreements, he would kind of shut me out like that.
Okay. So you go to his room to discuss that, and what happens next?
He told me to shut the door.
Okay, and what did you do in response?
I said no.
Okay, and do you remember why you said no?
Because I was kind of tired of this whole, we're adults, we need to communicate like adults. I would like to know why you're upset at me.
Mhm. And at that point, where were you located?
I was in the doorway of his bedroom.
Okay. And at some point, what does he do in response to you saying no?
He gets up, shuts the door.
Okay. And at some point, does he make physical contact with you?
Yeah, he grabs me by both my arms with his hands and pushes me against the door, the hallway door.
Okay, so let's break that down a little. You're standing in the doorway.
Yeah.
Correct? And he put his hands on your shoulders?
Yeah.
Okay, when you say he pushed you into the hallway door, what does that mean? Did he?
He kind of manhandles me across the hall
Okay,
into the spare bedroom door.
so you were pushed and you made contact with the opposite hall
Yes.
door? Okay, what did you feel in that moment?
I was shocked.
Had you ever had any interaction like that with him before?
No, we've had disagreements before, but it's never been physical.
Okay. And do you recall where he grabbed you before?
Right here.
Okay, so kind of in the middle of your arm on each side. Was it two hands
Yes.
grabbing? Okay. And so you're shocked. What do you do next?
He, at that point, closed his door and retreated into his room, and then I opened the door in shock and disbelief and said, "Did you really just throw me?" And then before I could even say that whole sentence, he had grabbed me again and threw me again into the same area, but harder this time when he grabbed me.
Okay, so you got up, went back. At that point, was the door closed?
Yeah,
And so did you open it again?
yeah,
And then that's the point where he grabbed you again?
yes. And then did the same thing, threw me into the door and then shut the door. Well, no, he didn't shut the door that time. At that point, he was standing in front of me after after that had happened, I had my phone in my hand still.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of go back and ask you some questions about the second interaction you had. So when he pushed you the second time, was it the same kind of grip that you had experienced the first time?
Pretty much in the same spot, but harder.
So it was just a harder grip?
Yeah,
All right. And when you hit the door on the opposite side of the hall, do you remember what part of you made impact with it?
The front of my body did, but I was shielding my face with my hands.
And did you, either from the grab or hitting the door, did you experience any pain or feel?
I think I was just mostly in shock, so I didn't really feel like I was scared.
Okay. And after the second time you hit the door, what did you do next?
I went, like I had my phone in my hand and I went to go call 911. And when I had it dialed and I was ready to press call, he then grabbed my arm, my wrist and took my phone from me and went into the bathroom.
Did he say anything while doing that?
No,
No. And so you just said he grabbed your wrist.
yeah,
Okay. Did he at any point take the phone or
yes.
yes?
He
Okay.
grabbed my wrist and like very simultaneously grabbed my phone,
Okay. So grab your wrist, grab the phone,
went into the bathroom.
went into the bathroom. Okay. Did you at some point get your phone back?
I followed him into the bathroom and then he like kind of put it over his head all the way. And I had to like get on my, the top of my tiptoes to try and get it. And I couldn't get it. And then he told me if I don't call the cops, I'll give him my phone. So then I had to tell him that I was gonna call the cops.
And I'm sorry, I missed the end of that. So you said that you would not call the cops and then what happened? Did
For
he?
him to give me my phone.
And he did give the phone back?
Yeah, I had to say it a couple times.
Okay, so at some point that night, did you take pictures of your injuries from that interaction?
Yes, after I got the phone back from him, I went into the bedroom that I was sleeping in and my other son was in there. And I shut the door and then I took a video and I took pictures like right after it.
Ms. Midas, did you eventually meet with an officer here?
Yes, the next day.
And at that point, were pictures taken of you?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach Simmons?
You want to approach your witness?
Yes. Ms. Midas, do you recognize what I just showed you?
I do.
What are they?
They are the pictures of the bruises from his fingerprints.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the injuries you sustained from that night?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would request to admit and publish people's pre-marked exhibits. One moment. 2A through 2C.
2A through 2C, any objection?
No, Your Honor. Not this time.
People's 2A and 2C are admitted, you can,
Into
I think I might, you said,
2A, 2B, 2C.
I meant 2A through 2C. Did I make it co-host again?
I think so.
I did.
Yeah. All right. Ms. Midas, can you describe what this picture is of?
It's a picture of his fingerprints starting to form on my arm.
Okay, and you said this was taken the next day.
Yeah.
And what does this picture show?
his fingerprints starting to form in my arm again.
Do you happen to remember which arm this is?
This is the arm of my tattoos. It's my left.
Okay. And do you remember what these markings are a result of?
His fingerprints.
Okay, is that consistent with where you felt him grab you? And can you describe what we're looking at here?
So when I hit the door, one of the times when he tossed me, I had a hands up. So one of the, it's like a rubber, I could say, like against the door, like a friction.
Okay, and do you mind pointing out in reference to, we see a eye, kind of like a, we'll say right eye of this owl tattoo and left eye.
Yeah.
Where on this, the burn that you're describing is located? Just for the jury to.
It's over by the right eye.
This side,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they were pretty faint.
okay. So going back to your phone was given back to you.
Yeah.
At some point, you said you went into your room,
Yes.
and at some point, did you go into the hall again?
Yeah, I went out and I was planning on, like, in the spur of the moment, I was planning on leaving, but then I also remembered that, like, it legally isn't my car and that Aiden was sleeping. So if I wanted to leave, I would have to leave. No, I didn't want that.
Okay. Did you, when you left your bedroom, see Mr. Gates at all again that night?
He was laying in his doorway, like his head was in the doorway, but his body was in his room.
Okay. Was that regular or common for him to do that?
No, it was not normal.
Okay. And Aiden was still in the room?
Yes, he was sleeping so.
At some point, do you go to sleep that night?
Yeah. I did fall asleep. Sure.
Okay. Did you at any point that night reach out to emergency services?
I did call before I took the picture and the video, but then I quickly hung up before anybody could answer.
And why did you do that?
I was nervous of what would happen.
Okay, what were you nervous about?
Pretty much, I depended on him financially, so I was really nervous of what would happen. going
I'm
forward.
to relevance here.
We want to respond to the relevant objections.
I think it's completely relevant to the dynamics of the domestic violence elements, the elements of why she wouldn't have been willing to reach out as a whole.
I don't think it's relevant. Objections sustained.
So moving on to the next day, on July 2nd, what time do you wake up?
I woke up around like 5:30ish.
Okay. And what do you do when you wake up?
I went to go see where Aiden was.
Okay. And did you find Aiden?
I did not.
Do you make contact with Mr. Gates?
I do.
Okay. How do you make contact with him?
I called him.
And can you tell me about that conversation?
He quickly told me that he took Aiden to his mother's. He took the keys away from the car. The car was still sitting in the driveway, and that he was evicting me.
Okay. And was it normal for Mr. Gates to have left the home with your son that early?
No,
Okay. What would the usual schedule and routine have been regarding your son on a daily basis?
I would wake him up around 7:30-ish, get ready, drop my other son off at school, and then drop Aiden off at daycare around 9:15.
And ultimately,
Here, I'm also gonna object, we're gonna continue on this line either, I'm not sure what the relevance of this is.
What is the relevance?
Your Honor, I'm just establishing kind of I'm leading up to discussion with the officer later that day.
We could jump to the officer discussion.
And Michaela, did you ultimately make contact with Officer Hare?
Yes,
And where did you make contact with that officer?
she met me in the parking lot of CSL Plaza on the west.
Can you
west
speak
side.
up, please?
She met me on the west side, the CSL Plasma parking lot.
I have no further questions.
Cross examination.
Okay, Michaela. All right.
So I'm gonna touch on a couple of things you were talking about with this bucket, okay? So you said Dermonte came home later in the evening, right?
Correct.
And you then maybe at Meyer getting a part for a broken AC.
Somewhere,
Had he also been at work earlier that day, if you're aware?
yeah,
So he comes home late from work, possibly finding a broken part at Meyer, comes home late. At some point goes into his room where your shared son is sleeping, right?
he didn't come home late, he was home early on the day and then left later on at night.
And at some point he comes back, right?
Yeah.
And that's late at night.
Again, he left, yeah, so like, when he was home in the evening, like before 7, and then he left around 10. And then came back at 11,
So he came back at 11. And you said he goes in the bathroom, then goes to his bedroom.
yes,
His bedroom, right?
Correct.
Where your shared son is sleeping inside.
yes,
And then you enter the bedroom to have some kind of discussion with him, right?
I entered the doorway, yes,
Because you're frustrated with him and want to talk it out.
yes,
You're frustrated with him. He shuts the door, right? You open it right back and come back in, right?
I was standing in the doorway, so I opened the door, yes.
You told us you opened the doorway and came back in after he shuts it on you.
I was still standing in the doorway the whole time, I didn't go in his room. He shut the
He
door.
shuts the door. Okay, you open it back up and come back into the room. Open the doorway back up so you're looking into the room to have a discussion with him.
I'm looking in the room, yes,
He's telling you to get out, right?
yes,
And you told you earlier in the day when you're on the phone to leave him alone.
yes.
And you're going into his room to have a discussion with him, to have an argument with him.
He was,
That's a yes or no question.
yes,
He gets you out of the room, he closes the door, you come back in again, right?
mhm,
Is that a yes?
yes,
Yeah, that's all I have.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Uh, This, any questions from the jury for this witness? No questions from the jury? Okay, you may be excused from the stand. There's a sequestration order, so you're not to discuss your testimony with any other witness, okay?
So I can go back in the hall.
You have to go be sequestered. Call your next witness.
The people who call Officer Rebecca Hare.
You didn't call him this one.
So Rebecca here.
Yeah. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Give your seat. You can state your first and last name and spell both.
First name is Rebecca, Repeecca. Last name is Hare, Hare.
You can proceed.
Thank you.
Hi, officer. How are you employed?
22 years,
Okay, and how long have you been employed there?
roughly 4.5 years.
What's your job title?
I'm a police officer.
Okay, and what are some of the duties associated with your job?
I'm assigned to road patrol, so I respond to calls of service, self-initiated field activity, that kind of thing.
Okay, and were you working in that capacity on July 2nd, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have occasion on that day around 4:26 PM to go to the address of 6338 Hilliard Avenue?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that in Michigan, City of Lansing, Ingham County?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the reason that you went to that address?
The initial call for service was for a welfare check.
Okay, and as a result of that dispatch, did you ultimately make contact with a Michaela Zemaitis?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you initially make contact with her?
I was dispatched to the house, and when we didn't get an answer at the house, I made contact with her over the phone.
Okay, and after speaking over the phone, did you ultimately make in-person contact?
Yes, ma'am.
Where and when did you make that?
It was in a strip mall on, I believe, South Waverly Road in Lansing Township at like a plasma donation place.
Does CLS plasma sound familiar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you wouldn't dispute that being 3800 West Saginaw Street?
Sound,
Okay. What was Michaela's demeanor when you first came into contact with her?
she seemed upset.
Okay. Was she alone or was she with someone?
She was listening.
And what did you observe about her physically? Did you notice anything? Did you observe any injuries on her?
Your Honor, I
that
think this is
day?
a leading question.
It's a yes or no answer. Your Honor.
That's the problem.
That's the leading question, but
I can get there.
okay,
Did you end up-
asking, to be honest, I think I'm allowed the question.
Okay. Did she have any injuries?
Yes.
And where, can you describe those injuries?
It was, I believe on both of her upper arms, it was bruising. And I believe she had maybe friction burn on one of her hands, like from the front burn.
Okay. Officer, do you have knowledge as to whether Michaela was informed as to Mr. Gates' arrest?
Yes, she was.
And were you present?
Your Honor, what's the relevance of this?
Your Honor, I think that noting the reaction to this information goes directly to state of mind of the victim, credibility.
Repeat your question?
I asked whether or not she was present when Michaela was informed as to Mr. Gates' arrest.
I think the actual phrasing was Michaela made aware that he'd been arrested. Either way, the question, I don't know the relevance as to whether or not it makes a fact.
Yeah, I don't know how that's relevant to the element, so the objection is sustained.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Hi, officer, how you doing?
Yeah.
Good, thanks. So you said you made contact with Michaela at, I think it's CSL platform right there, not CLS.
Yeah.
Plasma Donation Center, right? Do you know why you made contact with her there?
Because initially when I spoke to her over the phone, she made me aware that I was now investigating domestic assault. With that being said, I prefer in-person contact.
So did you ask her to meet you at the public place?
I think she was going there on her own and I met her there.
Okay. And then you said you were dispatched to the house for a welfare check. Do you know who made that welfare check request?
Yes, it was the daycare that her child attends, one of the employees there, I believe.
One of the daycare employees called to ask for a check.
Yes,
Do you know why they did that?
Objection calls for hearsay relevance.
I'm not asking what they said. I'm asking if she knows what they're calling about.
You can answer without telling us what was said. She's just asking, did you know why they called, I guess? You can answer the question.
you're good. question.
Yeah. Do you know why they were calling?
Yes, for a welfare.
Right. Do you know
Right.
why they wanted the welfare check?
Yes, Michaela, she contacted.
There's an objection, so you can only tell me if you knew why they were calling. Her answer is yes.
So as far as you know, not as far as you know, you were called to the Hilliard address on the welfare check. For the welfare check, right? Was there any other report made to police about an incident that had happened at that address?
Right.
Your Honor, I'm gonna ask the state's counsel to not nod yes or no at the witness.
I'm sorry,
I'm gonna ask the state's counsel to not nod yes or no at the state's witness.
I didn't see that, but. Okay. Of course, they can't indicate to me like any answers to the witness. You can continue.
There was a call for service, I believe, the night prior to my response.
You know who made that call for service?
I don't know off the top of my head.
If I showed you a copy of your report, would that help you refresh your
Yes.
memory? Yeah. May I approach witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I believe it's on the your portion of the course. I think we're looking at here. Yeah. you got it. And I'll do the second time to do it. Then you can look up maybe you're done. Sorry, I'm gonna take this back from you. Was you reviewing your report able to help refresh your memory?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat the original question?
No, it was Mr. Gates.
It was Mr. Gates who called the night before.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We also looked at we talked about some injuries that you may have seen, correct? In your training experience, are these the injuries that are consistent or that you would expect to be seen with someone who is violently thrown against a wall?
So it happened, I believe I detailed how they were received.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Your Honor, no further. No regret.
Thank you. You can be excused. You can call your next witness. Oh, I'm sorry. Did the jurors have any questions for this witness? Okay, it doesn't look like they do. You can be excused.
People would call Officer Michael McGregor.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
I do.
You can have a seat. Please state your first and last name and spell both.
Michael MacGregor, MICHAEL, MACGREGO.
Hi, officer. How are you employed?
I work for the City of Lansing Police Department
And how long have you worked there?
for shy of 4 years.
And what's your job title?
I'm a patrol officer.
And what are some of the duties associated with that job?
Respond to calls for service.
Okay. And were you working in that capacity on July 2nd, 2025?
Yes,
On that date, did you become involved in an investigation involving a Mr. Germonte Gates?
yes.
And how did you first become involved in that investigation?
I was dispatched to his residence.
Okay. Did you end up making contact with Mr. Gates?
Yes,
Was it at the residence?
no.
Okay, where did you end up making contact?
The child or kinder care daycare in East Lansing.
Okay. And during your conversation with Mr. Gates, did he describe an interaction with a Michaela Zimitis?
Yes,
When he was describing that interaction, did he at any point acknowledge making physical contact with Michaela?
yes,
Did he describe pushing her?
yes,
Do you recall if he indicated whether the physical contact occurred more than once?
yes,
And did Mr. Gates describe using his hands during that interaction?
yes,
All right. Officer, did you wear a body worn camera during that interaction?
yes.
And did you have a chance to review this body worn camera footage?
Yes,
Do you recognize the video that's been pre-marked as People's Proposed Exhibit D1?
Yes.
Okay, and I apologize, Your Honor, sorry, 4A. And what is that video of?
body cam footage of my interaction with Jim.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of your interactions with Mr. Gates that day at the kinder care?
Yes,
Your Honor, the people have moved to admit and publish People's Proposed Exhibit 4A, only playing from the timestamp 8:20 to 8:56.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
Equals 4A, is it?
It is, let me see, yeah, okay, 4, yeah. Do you know if the audio will? Share some, share some. Yeah.
Entire time I'm not leaving the bed.
I got you. How were you pushing? One hand?
One hand.
One hand?
One hand.
And then you're showing it with your left. Was it with your left hand, do you think?
Yes, yes, it was with my left.
Okay. What happens after that? Two charges, two pushbacks.
Right.
What happens?
She says she's calling the phone. I said, no, you're not. Then I did leave the bedroom, and she said, I'm gonna call the cops. And I was like, fuck it, fine, whatever. And I go in the bedroom, and I go in the bedroom, shut the door, and I try to go back to sleep.
Officer, in that clip, do we hear Mr. Gates describing making contact with Ms. Zimitis?
yes,
And do you recall him stating how many times he made a push against Ms. Zimitis?
yes.
How many times was that?
2 times.
And what do you recall him talking to you about a phone, about a
Your Honor,
phone.
objection to relevance.
What is the relevance?
You have a prior testimony about a wrist grab involving a phone.
Oh, is that what you're about to add? What was your question going to be? Because you didn't complete the question.
Did you, I can restart. Your Honor.
I just heard you say something, do you recall to read something about a phone, but I don't know. if it's
Do you
complete.
recall the defendant speaking to you about a phone and an argument about use of a phone from a Sematus?
Okay, that's what your objection is to that question.
There was a mention of a phone call, and
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know the relevance of any phone calls to
Okay,
what we're here for.
I just heard phone and then objection, so, well, I think she's withdrawing the objection, so you can answer that question.
Okay, and what did Mr. Gates tell you about his response to a phone call being made? Do you recall him telling you?
You know, I object again to relevance here. This is a different question about what a phone call he
Oh.
made.
Are we talking about something that just happened in the video, though?
Yes, Your Honor, I can replay. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she's trying to question about what was just stated in the video. It might be a better way to phrase the question, I think, is what she's trying to do.
I guess the objection would still be as relevance. Well, I'm not sure what we heard in the video or what this question has to do with what's with the jury today.
Your Honor, there's been a description of a grab being done involving a phone, which can go directly
Contact.
to.
Understood.
She's
But
trying
she
to-
says not a call he made.
No, I was
No, I don't think she said him. You can repeat your question.
Officer, do you recall Mr. Gates telling you about an argument between him and Michaela involving a phone?
Yes.
And what did he tell you about that argument?
He heard her say that she was gonna call the police.
And do you recall what he told you his response to that was?
Swore about it, and then said he went back.
Officer, is the statement the defendant made in that clip, "I go in the bedroom," consistent with what the defendant told you so far about his location in relation to the bedroom during this argument? Basically, what did he tell you about where this argument took place?
Said it was in.
Can you speak up, please?
He said it was in the doorway of the bedroom.
Okay. So at some point, he acknowledges that he is in the doorway rather than inside the room, correct?
Yes.
Did Mr. Gates, at any point in your interaction with him, claim that Michaela had injured him or pursued him?
Yeah.
And what was his description of that interaction?
Charging at him.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Cross exam.
Afternoon, officer. How are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about your interaction with Jamonte, and we saw a video here. We saw a very, very short clip of your whole conversation with him, didn't we?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that we started in the middle of the story
Yeah.
that he advised? Okay, so there's a whole other part of this story that hasn't been shown to us today.
Yes.
Would it help us, do you believe, to hear the rest of what Jamonte said happened that day?
Yeah.
I'm gonna borrow the people's exhibit here, since we're not gonna use the same one. And how late in the conversation do you think what we saw was? Middle, end,
I would say no.
middle? So we're starting in the middle here. Do you recall, without using his words, how he said this exchange began between him and Michaela?
She entered the room and started yelling at him.
She entered the room and started yelling with him. Without using any quotes.
Your Honor,
between
I'm
other
gonna
person.
object to hearsay.
He's not saying what they're saying. Not using quotes for them.
This
He's
is
talking-
information that's only coming directly from the defendant to the officer.
This being offered for the truth of the matter asserted.
And we're not asking him exactly what was said between the two parties. I'm not quite sure how this is any different than anything else we've heard from him about what Mr. Gates said that day.
It's not a party opponent.
Okay, I don't think she's alleging that it's a party opponent. I think
Right.
she's trying to answer my question about what it's being offered for. What is the purpose of?
For what Mr. Gates is saying, how that exchange began between the two parties. Is that what you're asking, Your Honor?
Correct. What is the purpose of this line of question for this witness?
Your Honor, to explain what we're missing from this video here. I mean, we can play the
Okay,
video, but
that-
rather than playing the whole thing, I thought I'd just ask a
This
question.
is, I'm not clear how long is the video? So you're trying to ask questions so you can narrow down the scope of what you're going to play?
Or rather than playing the whole 15 minutes, because the state's indicating they would request the whole thing be played, rather than doing that, asking the probably couple of minutes that we're missing here.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. You're trying to narrow the scope of
Yeah.
where you should play?
Yeah.
I agree that she's got to figure out where to start and finish, because we're not gonna play 15 minutes in here. However, yes,
People would object to hearsay grounds of admission and use of this exhibit by the defense.
okay, he's testifying to information that's supposed to be played in this video, that was my understanding.
Yes, statements made by the defendant.
They've
But that
already
we're
been-
about to hear in the video. Is that what you're purporting? That we're gonna hear this in the video,
Well, Your Honor,
these statements?
Well, I think the state has used this to show statements from him, but they're not playing the whole story. So I think it's fair for the jury to hear, if they're going to use it to hear what he said, to hear all what he said. Right?
Correct. They did use it to show what he said.
Correct, Your Honor. However, that is under party opponent exception, and use by defense would be a hearsay violation.
I recognize it, but they're using your same exhibit that you admitted to show the whole, or showing up, I guess, the entirety of the situation. And they're trying to figure out how to do it without paying 15 minutes for the video. So we got one of two options. We can sit here and watch the whole video for 15 minutes, or I can overrule your objection. Which one do you think I'm gonna do? Objections overruled. You can continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you retrace back to the original question I asked, if you don't recall it. Without using any quotes from him or talking about his full story, how does he kind of explain, or do you recall how he's saying this exchange between him and Michaela began?
With Michaela entering the room. Yeah.
So I literally know that you can talk louder than this because you're a whole officer. And so you don't have to be soft with us.
That's right.
You can use your outside voice in here because we can't hear you.
Sorry.
I can take it from
It started with Michaela entering the room and
yelling at him. And does he say how it got from that to what we just watched here? If you recall?
All of this is on your body cam?
Yeah.
Okay. And does this happen just before the portion that was played, do you know?
I do not recall, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how we can get to the video. Where you're gonna start it. I guess you can start it, and if you need to go back a little further, you can do that.
Sure. So we're gonna play from the same previously admitted exhibit, just a little earlier in the video, okay?
What's the timestamp?
3:36.
3:36. So about 5 minutes prior to where you played Miss Buckingham.
Perhaps.
3:36. Okay, thank you.
Everything that's going on as far as what happened last night before you called, last night after you called, everything along those lines.
Okay.
Along with the circumstances, I do got to reach out something to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Oh, that's a wrong card. All right. So, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you do say may be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with an attorney before speaking to the police and have an attorney present during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you before questioning. Since I've explained your rights to you, are you willing to answer my questions at this time?
Yes.
So last night you called about what time?
12:30, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Aiden, no, stay on the grass. You wanna hold my hand? All right, come here. Come hold my hand. Good job.
And then just kind of run me through like everything. Like, so what led you to make that phone call?
What led me to make that phone call? Before I could make the phone call, it was stressed out because AC has been off the fritz, has not been working for almost 2 weeks now. Dryer broke, work, life, stress is in life.
Yeah.
I worked I worked like 12, 13 hours yesterday. I get out of work, hang out at home for a little bit, and I tell her I just need some time alone. I just want to get out and drive. I originally was going to go get a beer and an air filter for the furnace. I decided against that. I just started driving around Lansing, just driving. Clearing my head, trying to decompress. I tell her that I just want to be alone, just want some me time, and she keeps calling and texting. I tell her, I told you I just want some time alone, just time to decompress. She does not give that to me. I come because she wants to go to her dad's house and, we drive.
Right. I'm only pausing just because I want to make sure that there's all able to hear and see it. Yeah, well.
And we go to her dad's house and pick up AC. I tell her I was going to let her do that. Just leave. And she keeps calling and texting. I tell her, I told you I just want some time alone, just time to decompress. She does not give that to me. I come because she wants to go to her dad's house and, we go to her dad's house and pick up AC. I tell her I was going to let her do that. Just need some time for myself. Sure. I blow up on her and I say she's not going over to her dad's house anymore because I'm not going to let her use my car.
Here, I'll give you a little
She can go to her dad's house if she wants, but she's not using my car to do it. And I told her that. You're not using my car to go there.
What car is that?
That is the Ford Escape. Okay. I have 2 vehicles. And after that, she pretty much leaves me alone. I get home, brush my teeth, get ready for bed, change my clothes. Aiden, my son, is laying down in the bed. And I lay down on the floor because I'm trying to break him from sleeping with us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I don't know a whole lot, but there's a custody agreement with you and her, and you guys have separate bedrooms. Is that
we have
accurate?
separate bedrooms? Yes.
Okay.
The custody agreement is for when we are apart, when we are not living together. While we are living together, that custody agreement does not matter because we're living together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes. There's no. Yeah. We're living together.
Okay. How long you guys lived together?
Since January. So yeah.
Okay. What time do you think you got home after your decompressing?
It was like, had to be about 11 o'clock. Yeah, somewhere around there, about 11.
Okay, and then Aiden's on the bed, you're on the ground.
Yep.
You want to
Go
do
to
the
bed.
teaching thing?
She barges in my bedroom. She tries to start an argument with me. I tell her it's late. I'm going to bed. And I try to close my door. She pushes the door. I tell her I'm shutting the door. And she tries to barge in more. I push her out with enough force to shut my door and stay where I'm at. I'm in my bedroom. I do not leave the bedroom. I'm in my bedroom. And then she charges me, and I push her again. And then she charges me again, and I push her again.
2 times she's charging at you?
Yes. And the entire time, I'm not leaving the bedroom.
I got you. How were you pushing? One hand?
One hand.
One hand?
One hand.
And then you're showing it with your left. Was it with your left hand, do you think?
Yes, yes, it was with my left.
Okay. What happens after that? Two charges, 2 pushbacks.
Right.
What happens?
She says she's calling the phone. I said, no, you're not. Then I did leave the bedroom, and she said, I'm gonna call the cops. And I was like, fuck it, fine, whatever. And I go in the bedroom, and shut the door, and I try to go back to sleep.
Now we've seen kind of the entirety of what he tells us happens that night, right? I'm gonna back in my notes. One second. All right, I think I'm done with this one.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions from the jury for this witness? I have to say, officer, your voice was light on the video too, so I guess you're consistent. Thank you. You can be excused. You can call your next witness.
People rested their case and choose.
Your Honor,
I was gonna, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I'm gonna give the jury a break. Because I think they've been sitting down for an hour, so we'll give you 5 to 10 minutes. All rise for the jury. Yeah, you can leave your notepads here. You're not free to deliberate or discuss the case at this time, so.
Okay. I would like to address a motion to direct a verdict with the court. Thank you, Your Honor. So as you know, with a motion for directed verdict, question of whether or not there's been enough evidence even put on during testimony to submit to a jury for deliberation here. I would contest that there has not been enough for consideration by the jury to believe or to consider whether or not there was an act of assault here that was committed by Mr. Gates.
People would obviously argue against this motion. There has been issues of fact regarding the push itself, as just shown on that video from the defendant. He's talking about one hand push from Michaela. We heard testimony of a grab and a push. We've seen pictures of the claim from officers saying that may or may not be consistent with what she described versus what's then described in this video of one hand, left hand push. There's argument between Michaela and then what we just heard in that video of the location in the doorway, whether she's running at Mr. Gates or whether he's pursuing her. Because of that alone, I believe there's a question of fact for the jury to decide.
Any other?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. What there is testimony about as well is that he was charged by her. We're hearing from her that she came into the room, she began the altercation with him, she was coming at him, she was going to fight with him. All of this is an indication that if there was any altercation, it was started by her, not Mr. Gates. He does not appear by any testimony today to be the initial aggressor in this situation. Thus, I believe there's not enough to submit to the jury here for consideration of whether he committed assault there.
So in order for a directed verdict to be granted, the court would have to determine that there's not been enough evidence on this record to even pose a question for a jury. Even if there was just a little bit of evidence that go towards each element, whether it's enough to prove beyond reasonable doubt is not for the court to determine. It's enough that it's reasonable for the jury to now continue on with what their duty is. And I think there is. I think there's some large questions of fact, actually. It's very clear that there's two versions of how this situation can be perceived. And at that point, that's absolutely when the jury should make a decision about what the facts of this case are. So for those reasons that I gotta deny the motion for directed verdict. I will give you an opportunity to talk privately with your client about how you want to steer his defense forward, if you want to call witnesses or you want to proceed to closing arguments. That's between you all at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
dark, so, you know why?
Or in the summer.
All right.
You can be seated. Oh, you're fine. No, you're completely fine. You can be seated was really for them, not for you all. When you all come in, you can be seated. Okay, let's see here. Defense can call witnesses.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're gonna call Marcy Gilliam.
That's that. He's like around two of them. Really isn't fun. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you cold?
It was very cold in the library and I've been sitting in there for 2 hours.
Be cold no longer.
So I'm
It's a very different temperature.
It's two separate buildings, so this one, you can feel it. Okay, please state your first and last name and spell both.
Marcy, Marcie, last name is Gilliam, Gilliam.
Have you testified in court before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can proceed, counsel.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us, Gilliam. I know you've been waiting for a little while. Hopefully it's a little warmer in here for you. Can you tell us how you're employed?
I am center director at East Lansing Kindergarten.
And do you know a Michaela Zemitis and a Germonte Gates?
Yes, their son used to attend my center.
Your son used to attend the center. And do you recall anything regarding those two on July 2nd, 2025?
Yes, I do.
What do you remember from that day?
That mom called our center about 4:15, stating that.
Objection, calls for hearsay.
They'll telling us her exact words. What was she calling about?
Objections.
Making sure that her son was still there.
And you said she called around 4:15
Yes,
PM?
yes.
And again, without using her words, tell us again what she was calling for. I'm sorry.
To make sure he was there because she thought he was.
Objection, none of this testimony is gonna be firsthand knowledge. This is all gonna call for hearsay.
You know, this is an impeachment witness.
You said this is an impeachment witness?
Or I don't recall mentioning at any point in our case in chief, anything we can prepare for.
Yeah, I don't remember this being addressed in the case in chief. Who are you
Regarding testimony
impeaching?
that Ms. Zemitis made.
I'm sorry?
This is regarding testimony Ms. Zemitis made.
That's about what?
But various things throughout that day.
Well, this particular question, how does this address?
So she talked to Ms. Zemitis that day.
Correct, but I don't know if this particular question. First of all, I thought your objection was gonna be the answer calls for hearsay. Okay,
Sorry.
which I think it does. So that objection is sustained. Now, you're also, is it a compound objection as to the line of questioning? Or-
Underlying is all, this would seem to call for hearsay. It's all testimony of what she learns through Miss Zemitis.
Okay. As to that answer, she can't give that answer. I think there's a way for you to get the information that you want without her having to repeat another person's statement.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, so again, we're not gonna make quotes or anything. We're not gonna ask exactly what she said, to be very clear, okay? Okay. So she was calling because she was concerned, fair?
Correct.
Okay. Did that strike you as unusual, what she was calling about?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was Dad's week, I do believe, because they had every other week. So it was very odd for her to call because Dad is the week that week. So it was, she never called or anything like that.
And Do you recall when Aiden got there that day?
Yes, grandma dropped off.
Was that necessarily unusual?
No.
Okay. Did she, rephrase my, making sure I'm asking the question. When Kayla called you, she was calling because she was concerned. Was she telling you anything else in that call that struck you as unusual?
Objection, calls for hearsay.
We're not asking about codes, Your Honor. We're asking about anything that struck her as unusual.
Well, without her telling us what was said, you're just asking if she told you anything unusual?
Yes.
You can ask her.
Yes.
What was that?
Your Honor, calls for hearsay.
That's possible, okay.
Was striking her as
Is it being
unusual?
offered for the truth of the matter asserted?
No, Your Honor, it's being offered to call into question the veracity of something that Michaela has testified to. Again, this is an impeachment witness. It's not about the truth of what she's testifying to. Okay. Did you think there was a kidnapping situation here?
No, because Aiden was under my care all day.
Because what? I didn't hear you.
No, because Aiden was underneath our care all day.
Correct. Okay, you kind of were just working.
Correct.
And then Aiden was in your care.
Correct.
And you did what you were called to do based on your position.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
That's just my clarification and maybe the clarification of any juror. You weren't calling about any assault though, correct? You weren't calling the police about an assault. Is that correct?
No,
Okay,
I was informed of that.
okay, but you were calling about what you believe could have been a threat of kidnapping?
Correct.
Okay,
Because that's what I was told.
okay, got it. Any redirect of your witness?
Just briefly, may I have 1 second?
And then the interim, does the jury have any questions?
I have,
You can write it down. Well, write your question down, please.
oh, never mind.
You don't want to write it down? Why not?
No, it's not.
It's not- Okay, this is gonna go- you're making a measured decision. So-
It's just, I probably just, no, it's okay.
Are you sure? Did you want to whisper it to my
No.
court officer? Because the issue is I have to review the question first before I can decide if it can be asked.
Okay. Okay. But I'm glad to know that's how it works. Yeah, I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Only because you all don't know the rules of evidence.
Right.
So you all might ask all kinds of questions
But-
that really the rules say we can't ask.
Right. Okay. I'm learning.
But never think that a question is not that important. Because when you get in there to deliberate is when it's gonna be really important and it's too late then.
Just a couple very brief. Are we, I don't know if we're getting a question
No,
from
we're
the.
good.
No, okay. So you said in cross that you didn't know an exact arrangement, right?
The only what I have on file is mom every other week, mom and dad go every other week.
Okay. regarding, I think you said the same thing, you don't know what is an agreed upon time for drop off and pickup, right? Do you know it was normal for around that time
Normal for,
for Aiden to be dropped off and picked up?
depends on the person. So you have to, it really depends. If it was grandma, he would be there by 7:30. Dad would pick him up by 4:30. And some, when mom had him, he would not come.
And would it have struck you as unusual if any one of those people dropped him off or picked him up?
No, not really.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Any questions from the jury? I don't have any questions. You can be excused, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. You can call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll call Gregory Kraft.
Sir? Everybody raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
You can have a seat. Okay, there's a microphone that's in front of you. That is so the court reporter can take down everything stated in the courtroom. So your responses must be verbal and they must be loud and clear. If there's an objection from either of the attorneys, you have to stop speaking so I can make a ruling on that objection and then tell you if you're allowed to give us the answer to their question or not. State your first and last name and spell both.
Gregory Kraft.
Spell both.
Spell vote.
Oh, GREGORY KRAFT.
You can proceed. Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Kraft, how do you know Jermonte?
My son lives with him.
Do you know him well?
No,
How do you know Michaela?
I don't know her at all.
Have you known or been acquainted with either of them for a particularly long time?
No,
Would you say you have any particular interest or connection to either one of them?
no,
Do you really care either much about one of the other of them?
No.
Were you present, or do you recall anything happening on July 1st, 2025?
yeah, I spent the night there
Spent the night where?
at, well, my stepson, my Nick, I worked at the air conditioner.
You were looking at the air conditioner. So that's what you were doing there?
Yeah, it was late. And they told me, because it's a long drive, I said it just stay, spend the night.
So you were spending the night there.
Yes,
So let's go to later in the evening. You're there. Where are you?
I was sleeping on the couch.
Sleeping on the
Yeah,
couch.
couch.
And at some point while you were sleeping on the couch, did you hear anything or see anything that caught your attention?
Yeah, I heard a loud noise in the hall.
What do you think that was?
Well, it sounded like a bang on the door.
Like a bang on the door. And what did you do after you heard that?
I looked down the hallway
And what did you see when
to
you
see,
looked down?
because I heard commotion. I heard like noise. I looked down and she was trying to get into the bedroom.
Who is she?
Michaela, I guess I have never met her.
Gotcha. Okay. But you saw a person you believe was Michaela trying to get into what door?
In the bedroom door,
Which bedroom?
Jermonte.
Jermonte's
I
bedroom.
assume it was his. I mean, he was there telling her, I heard the bang, I heard him say, you can't come in here. Get out, and that's why I looked to make sure everything was okay, because, I don't really know him, so I don't want to, then, she tried to get in, and then he pushed her. I watched him push her out and then close the door.
And what
She-
happened?
She banged a couple times, and then she kind of scurried away.
Okay. Did you see her bang on the door and him shut it once?
Yeah.
Did you see him happen more than once?
No, just when I seen that, then I went back and said that. I thought it was, it's older.
And roughly how far away would you say you were from this?
Like 18 feet, 19 feet.
Do you think you had a pretty clear view of what was going on?
Oh, yeah.
And so you say he closed the door, and how did you rate it? She scurried away down the hall?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
She went back upstairs.
and back upstairs. Okay. And when he is shutting the door, what are you seeing her do, or how are you seeing her react?
Well, she tried to still get in, but then she walked away when she couldn't get in.
He just walked away.
He said a few more times, stay out.
How would you describe Germonte during this exchange?
No, he seemed pretty calm, considering what was happening. She was trying to get in, kept trying to force her away, and he just kept. He wasn't yelling. I mean, his tone was pretty mellow. Stop. Yeah.
And how would you describe Michaela during this exchange?
She's kind of wild.
And what do you mean by kind of wild?
Well, like, she was moving her arms and just, trying to get in there.
She was trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they know you were there?
Soon, I didn't know that she was there at all. I had talked to my son. My son stays in the basement.
Mhm.
I left to go get something to eat, and when I came back, it was dark. And I laid down on the couch.
And so what was your purpose? And you just watched this whole thing unfold, right?
Well, yeah, because I wanted to make sure that, I'd seen domestic, abuse in the past. I wanted to I looked out and make sure everything was okay. I didn't want nobody to get hurt.
Mhm.
And then I watched and then seen that it was handled, so.
And did you see anything that made you think you should get involved to protect one or the other person?
No,
Did you see anything you would have described as violent or aggressive, either like from Mr. Gates?
no, excuse me, not from him, no, just her trying to get in.
Thank you very much.
Cross-examination?
Mr. Kraft.
Sorry.
Mr. Kraft, how long were you at the house that day?
I want to say I got there around 4, between 3 and 4.
Okay. And you said you were there, actually, I don't remember if you said why you were there. Were you there to help out Nicholas with the AC?
Yeah, he said that the AC wasn't working, so I was looking out in the back and in the basement,
Okay.
checking the refrigeration,
Just kind of helping out your son with the AC situation. And you were were you in and out of the house that day?
Yeah, I was outside for a while, and then I had to go into the basement, so I was in and out
Okay.
a couple times.
Other than Nicholas, did you see anyone else in the house that day?
No, I saw Germonte later.
Objection. I'm not quite sure what the relevance of this is.
Whether it's a witness, I'm establishing his observations of that day, what he saw. I'm getting to the reason I'm asking.
Object to the rule.
Did you see any kids in the house that day?
No,
You said you didn't see Michaela before that night. And you said you didn't know Michaela or Mr. Gates prior to that day? Or did you know of them?
I knew of Germonte. I never knew of Michaela. Like I said, I didn't even know she was there. I never met her.
Okay. And you said that you had gone out and then come back. Did you say it was around 10 p.m. that you were back inside on the couch?
It was dark.
Dark?
Between 9 and 10, yeah.
Okay.
It was summer, so.
What was the lighting? Was it completely dark? You were going to bed?
It wasn't completely dark. It was lights. It was, it was like a couple of lights where you could see, but it wasn't pitch dark.
Was the lighting in the house on?
There was some like night lights and stuff on. There was a light in the dining room that was on. That's all I was able to see.
You had told Miss Sutter that you wanted to make sure that nothing domestic was happening. Is that correct?
Just want, yeah, to make sure everything was okay, because I heard the commotion, I didn't want somebody to,
And that commotion, that caused you concern then?
what's that?
The commotion that you heard that had caused you to become concerned to look at what was
When I
happening?
heard the bang, yeah.
Okay, and that bang, you said that what did you think that was?
The door, it sounded like the door, someone banging on the door.
Sounded like someone banging on a door, okay. And when you looked up, you said that you at some point saw, well, you said, I saw Mr. Gates pushing her out the door and you kind of went like this. Is this the placement that you saw his hands, or did you clearly see where his hands were?
They were like this,
Like this? So kind of
pushing her out.
breast level, torso,
Yeah, roughly,
okay.
pushed her out. and then
Okay.
shut the door.
Did you see two hands like this?
I seen the one hand, I was looking at it from the side,
Okay, and then it was kind of like a shove, you just did a shoving motion, is that
Yes.
accurate?
yes.
Okay, and you had said before that you heard something about get out. Can you say again what you had heard?
I know, I mean, I can't remember exactly, I know he said, you can't be in here.
Okay,
He said that a couple times. And then, you know, I don't know the exact wording, get out, you need to get out of here, you need to get out of here. It was repeated several times.
okay, and that caught your attention, that's why you kind of started paying attention, is because you had heard it loud enough to alert
Yeah.
you and see there was a commotion?
Yes,
To clarify, you said it sounded like a door. You don't know exactly what that bang noise was, do you?
I mean, I know what wood sounds like when you hear it. It
Okay.
sounded like wood.
Sounded like
wood.
something impacting wood?
Yeah.
Okay, no
And
further,
and then-
thank you, Mr. Kraft. No further questions.
Just briefly, Ryan. Were you there when Javante got home that night?
Yeah,
Did you see him when he went into his bedroom?
no, not that, and that, no. No, I didn't see him actually going there.
Do you recall at some point when you were, let me ask you this, did you lay down on the couch before or after he went into his bedroom?
He was gone. I laid on the couch, no, but I didn't see anybody.
Were you laying on the couch when he got home?
No, I came back. I left to get something to eat. I came back. When I came back, everyone was, house was quiet.
So they were all in their respective places.
Yes,
Do you remember if Javante's door was open or
it
closed?
was closed.
It was closed. And when you
'Cause
heard
I
the
went to the
commotion, you said,
bathroom.
and then you went to that, okay. And so when you heard this commotion, it was open and there was this thing happening in the doorway, right?
Yeah, I heard a bang, then I looked. She was, of course, the door was open. And she's trying to get in to his bedroom.
Thank you very much.
Any questions from the jury? No questions from the jury. I don't think I have any questions. May this witness be excused?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Mr. Kraft. Any other witnesses for the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Prosecution be calling in rebuttal witnesses.
No, Your Honor.
So the people have rested and the defense are resting. Let's see, it is 4:42. Don't know that we have enough time to go over composite instructions in private, then read them or give them to the jury instructions, because that takes at least 30 minutes by itself. So, and then you gotta deliberate. So unfortunately, we have to go into another day for them to come and deliberate. Tomorrow we have what in the morning? Oh, okay, well, we can report tomorrow morning.
At 8 a.m., Your Honor, or?
8 is a little early.
Fair enough.
Maybe you report at 9. Tomorrow, we'll go over they'll be able to do their closing statements, because that's another thing they get to do. And then we can go over composites, instructions, and give you your final instructions so that you can deliberate. So I'll have a report tomorrow at 9. You're still not able to discuss this matter amongst yourselves or with anyone. And did anybody check in with Susan before they leave?
I'll
today?
call her now, because she.
Okay, because he did already receive, they already went to the treasury for today.
Yeah.
I think once he checks if that's all you need to do today, then you're free to go for today. Yes,
Do you need our notes?
you can leave your notes in the jury room because that door is locked. Okay, all right, you're gonna be excused to the jury room and the administrator will meet you there.
I'm gonna stop it right there. One, I lost the sound to my computer, and I can't hear nothing on the computer. Number two, we were close to the end of the 2 hours anyway. For now, ta-ta and chow-chow. Tomorrow is Judge Fletcher's docket. Yeah, tomorrow is... So tomorrow is Judge Fletcher's docket. I hope that you will tune in and watch. For now, ta-ta and chow-chow again. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I will catch you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm shining so bright, so bright. Don't come and try to share some of this light, no. Give me a beat and I control it like a maestro. Ladies on a mission, they be trying to get me wiped up. Shawty, wait a minute, can't tell if I like ya. Gotta make sure you know how to shake it like a bartender. Team with me and they all winners. And you know we ballin' all winter, all summer. Jewelry around my neck is lightning, but I'm all thunder. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it, yeah. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it. Bring a friend and come along. Don't be taking too long. The vibe's too strong. If you don't know how to move, then we moving on. Ain't no way rhythmic feet up in this place. If you can't catch the feeling, then get out the way. I've been reeling and fish from the lake. They keep saying I'm down to earth, but I'm really out of space. All these women aliens, super foreign, so excited, hopping the Mercedes Benz. And I got them crushing like ice pouring above. It's overflowing on us. You drop it, then pick it up. I think I'm falling in love, but shawty, this isn't what you probably thinking it was. It's a vibe out, cooling it for the weekend and such. You gon' find out once you come on and bring me that up. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets on us. Get your money and flip it, yeah. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it. Place your bets.